how would you explain to a patient what metabolism is besides just burning calories?
So metabolism is essentially how your body generates energy to perform its functions. When I think about metabolism, it consists of various components. First, we have to think about our total daily energy expenditure, how much energy our body is burning essentially throughout the day. That consists of your basal metabolic rate. That's essentially how much calories you're burning if you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you're still burning calories. Your brain's still working, your heart's still pumping, so you're still using calories. So that's your basal metabolic rate. And then you have the thermic effect of food. So that's actually surprisingly, when you eat, you're actually burning calories too. And certain types of foods have a higher thermic effect in terms of how many calories you're burning. For example, protein has been shown in studies to have a high thermic effect. It kind of promotes satiety. It helps in terms of your metabolism versus, let's say, carbs or fats, for example. Then you have activity thermogenesis. Activity thermogenesis is how many calories you're burning from moving and being active. That is actually broken down into exercise as well as non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So exercise, obviously thermogenesis is very intuitive. That's when we're exercising how much you're burning. And then there's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is stuff like singing, fidgeting, dancing, walking up a flight of stairs to your office. And in fact, there's a large degree of variability when it comes to non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I really encourage general as well as patients that suffer from overweight, obesity, to really try to increase their non-exercise activity thermogenesis, because that's where you have the most wiggle room, whether that's parking farther away at your office and taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator. One thing I encourage a lot of my members to do if they physically are capable is I have this walking treadmill and a standing desk. So that throughout your day could actually contribute to a lot of calorie burn and promote blood flow, your lymphatic flow. It's good for your immune system. You're releasing endorphins in your brain. It's good for your mental health. So that's a breakdown of your total daily energy expenditure. And at the same time, you have to consider, okay, this is how many calories I'm burning in a day. How many calories am I bringing in? When we talk about the calories that we're taking in, we think about the three different macromolecules. There's protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And each of those macromolecules have a certain amount of energy. Fat has 9 kilocalories per gram. That's how much energy fat has when you consume it. Carbohydrates is 4 and protein is 4. And then actually alcohol, interestingly, although it's not a macromolecule, you have to consider it because alcohol is empty calories, 7 kilocalories per gram of alcohol, and it provides no nutritional value. In any sense, when we talk about metabolism, essentially how our body is generating and using energy, and it really involves how many calories you're burning throughout the day, whether you're sleeping, being active, or eating, and then how many calories you're bringing in. And that kind of rests on the macromolecules you're consuming, including things like alcohol. And then, of course, there are external factors that could affect this, things like genetics. Some people are just genetically predisposed to having higher cardiometabolic risk. They have insulin resistance and inflammation, and they're at risk for heart disease, whereas others might not. That could be due to, ethnic considerations. We know that Asians, particularly South Asians, have higher cardiometabolic risk at lower body mass index thresholds. It could be due to the medications you take. It could be due to hormonal imbalances, of course, your lifestyle. So all of these are going to play a role and contribute to your overall metabolism.